Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and I have just witnessed Charlton 2, Cardiff 2, and in a bit of a first on the channel. I'm going to do this from home, life is in the way, couldn't get to the game today, but let me know what you think about this type of post-match video. So, Neil Harris's first game in charge for Cardiff. He came in the international break. Charlton getting 2-0 up at half-time. Cardiff missing a penalty, but then pegging Charlton back for 2-2. Probably a fair result in the end, even though doesn't really help either team too much. Charlton been on a little bit of a slide down from the top six after their brilliant start. Cardiff sticky under Warnock in the end and just can't win away. So I suppose they'll both take it at the end. Here is what happened. Charlton lining up. It was Phillips in goal. It was tricky to work out to begin with whether it was going to be three at the back or a back four with a sitter in front. So it was a back four in the end. Pratley not around. So Oshilaja is going to sit in front of the back four. It's Matthews, Lockyer, Pearce and Perrin to the back four with Oshilaja sat in front. Cullen and Gallagher are the two centre midfielders who've been so impressive this season. Always pressing, always forward, always supporting. With Oztuma, Johnny Williams still not around. He's going to play in the 10 position off Lecco and Bon. Still missing Lyle Taylor, who I think is closer now, but it's been a long time out for him and they do not want to rush him back. Neil Harris's first Cardiff lineup looks something like this. It's a 4-2-3-1. I wonder whether he'll end up transitioning to a 4-4-2, which he played for years, obviously. At Millwall, Etheridge in goal. The back four is Peltier, Nelson, Flint and Bennett. Bakuna and Pack sitting in front. Mendes laying off to the right. Patterson is in the 10 position. Hoylett down the left. And Gary Medine comes in up front. Glatzel's hurt. Ward is suspended. They haven't really managed to figure out a front four or a permanent striker. So maybe a chance for Medine under Harris, who we know likes a big guy up front, but he likes a big guy up front with a partner. So maybe we will see a two sooner rather than later. First 10 minutes of this one, fairly sort of attritional, but big chance on 11 here. Oshilaja gives it away. They had given it away a couple of times trying to play out. Charlton, Cardiff get onto it. Hoylett left to right. Mendes Lang and Peltier, who did combine quite well most of this game. And Mendes Lang slips between the two defenders. Lovely cutback for Patterson. He's about 8 yards out. He's going to try and squeeze it into the near post, but he puts it into the side netting. And typically for Cardiff season, just when they were settling into the game and had that big chance, they're going to go behind here on 12 minutes. The press snaps in midfield again for Charlton. It's fed out to Bon on the right-hand side. He drives at Bennett and Nelson. It's one of those classic ones where the winger stands up the two defenders and they both kind of leave him to each other. You know this doesn't happen if there's only one defender there. Goes between the two of them into the box. He cuts it back for Lecco, who makes a complete hash of the shot, swings his right foot at it. It bounces back and goes behind him. Gallagher's running for the first ball and he gets a little bit lucky to begin with because it just flings up, and as he's running, it's hardly chest control. It just kind of hits him, bounces forward. But from then, before the ball can even hit the ground, Gallagher, this is his sixth for the season as well, he pokes it right-footed on the volley towards the goal. All that momentum surging in and the early shot, and it is 1-0 to Charlton. It was weird because you got in around the 20-minute mark here. Charlton have the lead, and it's like both teams are now happy to counter. Charlton obviously more likely to pass out, but both of them prepared to sit back and then try and strike on the break. But Charlton seemed a bit better equipped to actually play through as opposed to Cardiff, who are trying to find the wingers as quickly as possible. Although I say that, Charlton were happy to play into the Chelmsford Bond. 21, big moment in this one. Big penalty shout here for Cardiff. Bacuna steals it off Gallagher. Good drive forward. He feeds it ahead to Medine, and the big guy does well here. He moves into the left channel, and it's got to be quite a well-judged cross. He's on the run. He's on the left. Patterson is arriving. He gets the cross exactly right. You just got to roll it into the space for the attacking midfielder to run into. Patterson coming in. He runs across Olisaja, and this is new for me because I've been able to watch the replays here. Normally I'm at the game pleading the fifth on this, and the replays do show that Olisaja just clips Patterson's back foot as he's going through. Patterson tries to hit the shot with the left foot, but he's kind of completely collapsing. At this point, down he goes. Referee gives nothing. In real time, it looked very hard, but the replays do show that that should have been a penalty. I suspect with this IFAB tweak on the obvious goal scoring opportunity rule, he would have got away with a red without getting a red card there, as it now says deliberate foul, and they would have classed that as a coming together. But certainly should have been a penalty. Super Leeds asked, do I think Cardiff will come good at the end of the season? Really not sure about that. Give me 10 games to watch Harris, and then I'll give you a view on that. Should do with the money in the squad and should get some spend in January. If you're watching live, please get involved in the chat. So yeah, big penalty shout, and it should have been given, really. 25, Charlton attacking quickly again, fed into Oztuma, hits the shot from the edge, deflects out to the right hand side, recycled back in Lecco with the first timer. That one gets blocked. Hoyle with a low left footer, easy for Phillips. Nice switch here for Charlton, right to left from Oshilaja. Purrington to Gallagher. Beautiful cross in here, nobody arriving. We had a nice little period from about 25 to 30 minutes where everything kind of picked up and both teams went at each other. Half chance on 32. Bennett swings the left footer in. Medine, he's on the near post, tries to flick the header, but difficult one over the top. That one goes on 37. Medine to Hoylett, low cross, right to left. Medine on the edge of the box here. His first shot's blocked, comes back out to him. And where we see loads of handballs get given, this is great from Pearce, because Medine absolutely larrups this shot, and Pearce stands up big and strong. That's one where if you turn to the side, try and turn your back and charge it down, your arm comes out, it hits your arm, he takes it right in the chest, he falls down. Obviously Medine hits that one with full force, and a goal kind of, a good chance prevented by a brave bit of play by Pearce. Then 39, Purrington well forward, feeds Gallagher into that dangerous spot, again just inside the box, and they get the block this time. And 42 minutes, Charlton go 2-0 up, and they absolutely kill Cardiff on the counter again. Both times in this game where Cardiff kind of edged forward, got a bit of territory, got a few minutes under their belt, Charlton picked them off. They've done this all season. I have a theory, right? We'll talk about that at the end. So Cardiff coming forward down the left. Charlton play out from their right back area, slip to Bon. He moves off. When he slides it inside to Oztuma, it completely opens up. Oztuma does really well, actually. He carries the ball, does exactly right. His head's up the whole time. He gives them the eyes. He looks that way, slides it through with the left foot. Lecco goes in 1v1. Pack is chasing as they come in. Lecco hits the shot. Pack just too late, and I think little Nick, and he just helps it round Etheridge into the corner. 2-0. Wow, just before half time. Half chance on 44. Hoylett swaps wings and drags the effort well right. So half time whistle goes 2-0 to Charlton, and kind of a classic Lee Bowyer 2019-20 Charlton performance so far. Really good picking off teams on the break. I say their finishing is lethal because they don't actually create that many chances and seem to always score on the break. But what it is just energy on the counter. They like a ball into the channel for Bon or Lecco, who are both good runners. And then Cullen and Gallagher, Oztumer, they all just go. It's a sprint into the box. They try and do things quickly. It's a clear tactic because we've seen it over and again this season. And given a slight lack of mobility in Warnock's team, remember, he likes to slow the game down. He doesn't want this energetic team. Sorry, the team that Warnock built, obviously, is not there anymore. That lack of mobility was shown up on both of those counterattacks. 2-0, half time. Presumably, the ref gets told at half time as well that he should have given a penalty to Cardiff, because the first chance he gets in the second half, he does. I don't want to say it's a make-up call, because it could well have been a penalty, but probably in his head was that one in the first half. It's good play by Cardiff, actually. Build up nicely. Bennett gets released down the left. Bennett's going to have a good second half, actually. Floats the cross into the back post. Perrington wrestling with Patterson, and the ref didn't need a second invitation to make this call. Penalty to Cardiff. Hoylett steps up, straight run up, right-footed. Horrible penalty. It's low, close to the keeper. Easy for Phillips, was all bouncing about before on the goal line, but huge chance. Remember, always, what is it, 0.77 on the XG? A penalty, you have to put them away, don't you? And you think it's not going to be your day, but they score 4 minutes later to make it 2-1. Cardiff. Mendes-Lang breaks down the left, carries it all the way to the byline. Matthews does well to snuff him out and win the corner. It's quite poor from Charlton from the corner. It comes in from the left. Phillips, can he catch this? I don't know. He punches it sort of half away out to Hoylett. He squares it to Bacuna. They're all back in the 6-yard box. Bacuna takes a touch. They come out to challenge. Bacuna hits the shot, and there's basically 3 Charlton players all together. And if it doesn't bounce off all 3 of them, it definitely hits 2 of them, because into that crowd, they're all stretching for it. They're all trying to block it. It ends up just rolling through. As they've pushed out, they've left a hole for Mendes-Lang, who quickly swivels and smashes it home left-footed for 2-1. Game on, but end of game for Josh Cullen, who leaves on a stretcher and has done his ankle ligaments. We saw him return at the end in a moon boot. Not good for him. Albie Morgan comes in. We wish Cullen well. He's been having a good season on loan form from West Ham. On 57, save. Good save here by Phillips. Again, corner goes short, fed out to Bacuna. He kind of swings the shot. It's curling outwards into the far corner with the left foot. Phillips throws himself to the left to make the save. It hits Pearce on the way through, deflects. It's now going the other way. Phillips throws out his legs and makes the clearance, and it goes safe. Good save. Next phase of this attack, though, Cardiff are really at it. Slid through to Medine, and a bit of an embarrassing dive by Medine here. He wants to get in the referee's head again. Wants the penalty, doesn't get it, and gets a yellow card for diving. On 59, Oztumer drives down the middle, long range of Flint, stands up well, a la Pearce in the first half, makes the block there. Double half chance here on 60. Charlton going toe to toe now as Cardiff kind of pushed on and added more energy into the game. Actually plays into Charlton's hands, because I just don't think you'll outrun Charlton in midfield, whoever you are in the division. And they kind of react to this and have a really nice period. First of all, Lecco down the right, slid across to Morgan. His shot is saved. They come again in the next phase of play. Morgan in the 10 spot. Even better shot here. Smashes it right-footed, flying towards the corner. Good save by Etheridge. The corner, they get a shot off as well. Bon, he's under pressure. He's turning. Puts it over there. So Cardiff really going for it now. They're playing with much more intensity. I said in my pieces I've done about the change of manager from Warnock to Harris that the one thing, if you're a Cardiff fan, you think he could bring, that you would want to see, is a bit of extra urgency rather than slowing the game down, which Warnock used to kind of do constantly and work from restarts and stop the other team. Neil Harris's Millwall were all about high energy and getting at it, and they did that in this second half, but that made it for a very good period around that hour mark. What's happened to Sol Bamba, someone asked. He's been injured since the start of the season. I think he's close. Remember, Cardiff without Sean Morrison as well. I think he hurt both his wrists, but he definitely broke one of them. Half chance for Cardiff on 63. They're going for it here. Loads of men forward. Bennett gets on the overlap from the left back position. Bacuna finds him, corner of the box. Bennett's shot is blocked by Olisarja. And from the corner, we see the most Millwall corner possible, where we used to see this over and again. Jake Cooper going right out behind the far post, way out the corner, floated over. It does it with Aidan Flint, he heads it across. Medine flicks the header on the near post. So look out for some more set plays from Charlton. Millwall, very good. Charlton from Cardiff, Millwall, very good at them. Not to say that Cardiff weren't very good at set plays under Warnock anyway, but maybe a little tweak and a change up in a few of those plans. A couple of subs here. Bogle comes on for Medina, who's obviously on a yellow now. Hoylett missed the penalty, he's going out, and Lee Tomlin is coming in as well. 68, Bond on the counter here into the left side of the box. Nelson stands up strong for him. Game getting stretched, and here comes the equalising goal on 72, and Neil Harris is going to take a big W for this one because it's one of his subs. He's going to get the goal. Tomlin is going to make it 2-2. Switch from Pack out to the left. Mendes-Lang moves inside. Nice direct play from him. Bennett, who's star man a bit on the overlap in this second half for Cardiff. Down the left, Mendes-Lang feeds it to him down the line. He cuts it back to Tomlin, and this is what Tomlin will give you. He can be a frustrating player, but technically he's extremely good. He receives the ball. It's a good first touch, as you'd expect from him. Opens his body, gives everybody the eyes into that far corner. Going to hit the right footer, but of course he flips back across his body, hits it into the other corner, down to Phillips' right, past the legs of the defender and into the corner for 2-2. Good substitution, good goal. They've missed a penalty. They've gone for it in the second half. Neil Harris will be really pleased with this for starters. Doughty comes in for Lecco, Volks for Patterson. Half chance here. Doughty straight into the game, left channel, cross shot gathered by Etheridge. Volks is on now, as I said, a long throw from him, finds its way to Tomlin, whose shot is straight through to Phillips. There's a yellow for Peltier, I think, niggly stuff going on there with Doughty. Tomlin gets yellow, I don't know whether that's for dissent or not, couldn't keep up really at the end there. 86, Oztuma puts one over the top from the corner as we start to kind of retreat back into take a point mode rather than this everyone going for it on the hour mark we had. Long throw in again from Volks. Flint flicks it on, it bounces back off Bogle. Flint on the full volley on the right foot puts that one over the top. Bakuna, big one forward here. Bogle is running in behind. We're in 89 minutes now. It's a bouncing ball. What he'd really want is it for it to come down a bit and he can take it on and get in behind. He's got two defenders close to him. Bouncing ball. They do enough to put him off, so he has to try and lob the half volley over the top. But it's easy for Phillips in the end. Up goes the board. 7 minutes stoppage time. Oztuma deep into the box here on 91. He slides it to Bon. He wants it back. Bon takes the shot under pressure with the return ball on, and then we have the chance. There's always a chance in stoppage time, isn't there? Chance for each team really, but bigger chance I would say for Charlton. Tomlin goes forward down the left for Cardiff. He sets for Bakuna, who gets blocked, but then the counter comes. It's fed down the right, slid across. Here comes Bon. It has opened up for him. Peltier on the cover as a good fullback should always be when the attack goes down the other side, and he throws himself at the block and makes the block middle of the goal. So big chance if he doesn't make that. Well played, Peltier, good defended. Half chance on 94. Doughty down the left, headed out to Gallagher. Oztuma is there. Nelson makes the block. Bon talks his way into the book for a yellow card, and that is all she wrote. 2-2. Lots of games still to be played. Cardiff move on to 22 points. Charlton on to 23. Weird when you think Charlton are having such a good season and Cardiff not having a good season, but that's the expectations. One team to come from the Premier League, one team to come from League One, and you would expect Cardiff at this stage to have many more points than Charlton, but that has not been the case. Charlton, decent. A lot of things we already know about them. Gallagher and Cullen Strong breaking in midfield, and they will kill you on the counter-attack. Probably most vulnerable when you've had some territory against Charlton, particularly at the Valley. But I do love the way they take the chances when they get them. And all of their goals, when you watch, seem to be involving someone sprinting into the box, not entering the box or running into the box, but always sprinting, which is great. And it's very League Bowyer. The injuries are a bit of a worry now because they've lost Cullen. I don't know how long Prattley's suspension is. I assume he'll be back soon. But yeah, Williams missing, Taylor on the way back. So struggling a bit with injuries as we go into this mass of, well, they've played the first one of 10 games now before the FA Cup third round at the start of January. So I think Charlton will take that, but I suppose given the missed penalty, they'll take it. But when you're 2-0 up at half-time, you do expect to go on and win. But spirited second half from Cardiff. If I'm Neil Harris, I'm happy. I've got my feet under the table now. I've got the first game out of the way. I've seen the players in the flesh. Again, I don't know how long Ward has got back suspended, but I think you're going to end up seeing Cardiff playing 4-4-2, very much like Millwall 2017-18. I think you can get two orthodox wingers and two forwards. And it looks like Bennett is going to benefit from playing under Neil Harris. He seemed to enjoy getting forward and the chances that he got there. So I think decent start for Harris, acceptable point for both teams. They both will say, well, we should have won. Charlton will say we should have won, we were 2-0 up. Cardiff will say we drew, but we missed the penalty. So I think everyone kind of goes home unhappy, but kind of goes home happy at the same time, if you know what I mean. I've enjoyed it today. I would really love your feedback if you're a regular watcher of the channel, whether this type of live stream after games that I have not actually attended but watched on the telly box is enjoyable, because that means I can do a lot more games because I don't have to spend 8-9 hours travelling, watching, filming, travelling back, etc. So let me know what you think. Don't be too blunt with the feedback, as people tend to be on YouTube. But if the feedback's good and the numbers are good, then I will do more of this type of review. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications for regular Championship content. We're doing the review, full weekend's review. And if this goes well, hey, I'll do this tomorrow for Borough versus Hull. Thank you everybody for watching. Over and out.